രാജശ്രീ വെങ്കിട്ടരമണൻ 130 വാക്ക് ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് ഷോർട്ട് ആൻഡ് സ്പീഡ് ഡിക്റ്റേഷനാണ് വായിക്കുന്നത്. 26 വായിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞു. എല്ലാ സ്പീഡുകളും ഡിക്റ്റേഷനും 3-4 പ്രാവശ്യം എഴുതി ഔട്ട്ലൈൻ ഉറക്കെ വായിക്കുക, ഇംഗ്ലീഷിലേക്ക് ട്രാൻസ്ക്രൈബ് ചെയ്യുക. തീർച്ചയായും നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അതിനുള്ള ഗുണം കിട്ടുന്നതാണ്. നമുക്കിപ്പോൾ തുടങ്ങാം. തിങ്സ് however changed by the beginning of the 20th century, and India began to import cotton textiles on a very large scale, which just before World War I reached at the staggering level on 3,000 million yards, and Manchester had the lion's share in the Indian market. After the war, the Indian market was shared by United Kingdom and Japan. One may feel say that the wheel has taken a complete turn, and after a half century or more of flooding India with their textile exports, the developed countries once again started raising their eyebrows and tariffs against imports of Indian textiles in 50s and 60s. Many developed countries once again sought to restrain imports of cotton goods on the pleasure that they disrupted the domestic market to detriment of the ingenious industry. In the early 60s, a concerted attempt was made by the developed countries for protecting their ingenious industries, the result of which was the signing of the short-term arrangement in 1961, followed by the long-term arrangement in October 1962. Although these measures were meant to bring about some gradualness in the shifting pattern of world trade in cotton textiles, it is inevitable that the export of cotton textiles should ultimately become the business of cotton growing countries. It is worth nothing that in 1972-73, India has made substantial exports of cotton textiles to Japan. In fact, 1972 marks a breakthrough in India's export performance. Exports of mill-made cotton textiles during the year were quite impressive, being the best so far since independence. From rupees 1,100 million in 1971, exports of mill-made cotton textiles jumped by 37% to rupees 1,500 million in 1972. They were better than the previous best of rupees 1,165 million records in 1970 by nearly 30%. The primary reason for India's spectacular export before performance during 1972 was to record crop of cotton and relation stability of its prices. Other factors were favorable trading conditions in world markets, a determined and collected effort by the cotton mill industry to fulfill the higher export target voluntarily accepted by it, and absence of the serious competition from Japan and Hong Kong. As a result of the sizable increase in exports in 1972, India has emerged as the world's largest exporter in the very limited field of cotton piece goods, a rank hitherto held alternatively by Hong Kong and Japan. While Indian cotton textiles industry can take some satisfaction for this achievement, there is no room for complacency. Several international factors like worldwide shortage of cotton and an upsurge in the demand for cotton textiles were to a certain extent responsible for this notable performance of India. But the most important factor was the big cotton crop of India that brings into perspective what needs to be done to stabilize and strengthen India's position as a leading exporter of cotton textiles. Indian cotton mill industry suffers from several handicaps, both economic and structural. It has had to contend with recurring shortages of raw materials, cost inflation, and low productivity of men and machines. But recently, the World Bank has drawn up a scheme of envisaging an investment of rupees 280 million in the first phase. The project, when fully implemented, is expected to raise the per acre is by 60%. Dear sir, in reply to your favor of the 16th instant, we regret that we cannot undertake the responsibility of adopting your suggestions with regard to the machine. We are willing to execute the repairs to the best of our ability and on the lowest terms possible. But as we stated in our last letter, the methods you possess would be attended with great risk to the rider. If you decide to leave the matter to us by night, inform us by return of post, and we will put the work in hand at once so as to be able to dispatch the machine by goods train on Saturday. We need hardly say that we pay the best price for all the materials we use. We guarantee them to be of the best quality obtainable. Referring to your letter of the 9th instant, we have done our best to induce the carriers to quote special rates for the goods consigned to you, but they decline to make any reduction on the ordinary rates unless the tariff is considerably increased. With reference to our statement of account for last quarter, we beg to call attention to the fact that the balance due has not yet been received.